Hello everyone and welcome to my video on wiring LEDs for African violets. Just a quick warning before I start. I haven't been well recently. Been going through a bad patch, so if I make any stutters or mistakes or whatever, please just ignore them and try to be kind because this is very hard for me when I'm unwell. Okay, so now I know there's a lot of people that want to know how to wire up LEDs. This is not so much the electrical theory part, but this is how to wire it up. So what I've done here is I've got 5630 LED strips, and I hope the camera's focusing. These are one of the brightest on the market, and they're also one of the most efficient. Now, these are 18 watts a meter, okay? So I've got 10 meters of them here in cool and warm white. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you have a power supply that fits the bill and also a dimmer, okay? So what I've got here, a lot of people are using LED power supplies, but I've popped capacitors in several of them and they're just no good. They overheat and go bad. So this is a computer power supply, commonly known as an ATX. Pretty much any ATX will work, even if it's out of a recycled computer. You just want to check on the side. I might turn this way because it might be upside down in the video. Anyway, this is telling me that my yellow is positive 12 volt and my blue is negative 12 volt. Okay, so now I've got 18 amps of power here and my ATX is 500 watts. Okay, so that's plenty to run these two strips. So 18 watts a meter, 10 meters. I'm not going to do the math, you can do it. You always want to overstate your power supply. I will make a video later telling you how to calculate what you need, but this today is just the wiring it up part, because this is what stumps most people. Most people get the basic electrical theory, they just don't get this. Okay, so what I've got here is I'm going to open up my ATX. Now this cost me, sorry about the noise, about $40 on eBay. But more expensive in the local computer store. It doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as it's suitable for your country's voltage. Now I'm gonna throw that over my shoulder like Susie from Now Career Education does. Okay, so now that I've undone that, we've got this bundle of fun. Okay, so we're gonna open up this bundle of fun. Now, this power supply won't work if you try and plug it in before you're getting it ready to wire, because what we need to do is we need to hot wire the power supply so that it will run without a computer, because normally it requires the computer to turn it on, but it's not hard to make an adjustment. So what we've got here is we've got our, well, the first thing we want to do is we want to find this big plug. I'm just going to stand up and see if you can see it in the camera. Yep, looks like you can. See this big plug? This is the one we need to find first. It's good. Alright, so what you want to do, this is how we're going to hot wire the power supply, okay? So let me find where I put my scissors. I can't find my side cutters because I'm cleaning my room out, so let me move that. Okay, so what we're going to do is on this big plug, we're going to cut the green wire. There should be only one green wire, so we're going to cut the green wire, okay, like that. So we've cut the green wire. Now we're going to find, in this same plug, we're going to find any of the black wires, okay. We're going to cut that black wire, okay. So I found these two. Now, what you want to do with these two is we're going to strip them, twitch them, and join them. Now, to join them, I'd normally solder them, but I know a lot of you can't solder, and that's fine. It's quite a skill to learn. So what I've got here is I've got some blue points. Well, they're called single insulated screw connectors. I bought a jar of 100 for about 20 bucks. You can get them on eBay or a local electrical supplier. So as you can see, it's just got this, and it's got a screw here. Now in America and Australia, I think you can get ones that screw on. I don't like them because they're not very safe. So what we're going to do is we've got these one blue point or wire connector, whatever you want to call it. And I've got these two wires here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip them and I'm going to join them together. Now, I've got a ceramic tooth, okay? Now this is going to make you laugh. I can't hold wire strips, I can never get them to work. So I just use my jaggy tooth. And it's gross, I know, but it's the only way I can do it on my own. And I'm going to strip the wires. Okay, so see how I can strip them? Now what I want to do to hot wire these together, I want to twitch them. So to twitch them, we're going to go like this. Okay, so we're going to make an X with the wires so they touch at the base. And we're going to twitch by twisting them together. I think that's the technical term, I don't know. You can use a pair of pliers, I never do because my fingers can do it just fine. And as you can see, we've just hot wired those two wires together. Now, I'm going to get my screwdriver. Okay. Which is an adjustable screw thingy. I like it because it's got a big handle. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our blue point. As you can see, the screw is already undone a bit. If it's not undone, you can undo it. We're going to place both these wires in there as far as we possibly can. Like that, okay? So that there's nothing sticking out. None of the bare wires sticking out. Like this. Okay. Stick that in there. And then we're going to tighten this screw. Now because these wires are fairly fine, I think they're only about 18 gauge. It may need a little bit of extra loving to get it to go in. So how that just fell out, it didn't grasp. But you've got to make sure that it's, see in there, it's going to be under the screw and pushed in as far as you possibly can. It always helps to have a friend or one of those, I don't know what they're called, electrician's handy helper hand thingies. I don't have one, so I just struggle when I do. Okay. Now the point is you don't want any bare wire showing, just like that. And you want to make sure that that screw is as tight as you possibly can. You won't strip it, okay? So you just want to make it. Now I'm going to pull this apart and solder it, but normally I'd put a little bit of electrical tape around there to make sure it's safe, okay? So now that we've done that, we need to test our power supply. Now that's really easy to do. The power supply would have come with a cord, which I'm unsure where I put it now. Oh, here it is. The power supply would have come with a cord, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to undo this cord and we're going to test our power supply. Now they usually got a switch on the back, so switch it to the off position. I'm going to put my plug in here that comes with the power supply. Put my power supply fan side up. I'm going to plug it into a mains outlet and we're going to try it. So if we flick it like this, the fan starts up, okay? So that's a good sign, because if we hadn't have jumped these two wires together, the fan wouldn't start up. So as you can see, it's nice and warm. Well, not nice and cool, it's blowing air. So we're going to switch this off. And I'm going to unplug the mains, because we don't want to use mains. We don't want the mains plugged in while we're working. Okay, I'm just going to check the focus of the camera, because this next bit's the technical part, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a dimmer, and then we're going to connect our LED strips, okay? So a dimmer's basically, it's like a dimmer switch to your house, to your light bulbs. You turn it up, there's more power running through it. Turn it down, less power running through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our power supply. Now we can run several dimmers off this power supply as long as we don't exceed the rating of the dimmer or the rating of the power supply, but you always want to overestimate your power supply. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here and find this in this bundle of goodies. We're going to find this connector here. Now this connector here has only red and black wires, okay? So see how it's only got red and black wires? What we're going to do, sorry, not red, yellow. Sorry, yellow. I'm thinking about the LEDs when I shouldn't be. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut at the plug. We're going to cut cut one of the yellows. Okay. I'm going to cut the black next to it. Okay. So the yellow is our positive or hot wire, and the black is our neutral or negative or common wire, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to strip these like I did the others. Okay. And I'm going to twist them like I did before. Okay. See how we twist them? Okay, now, because this is I think they call them a saddle connection, I don't know. Because see how this wire is a bit long? What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the wire in half. Okay. Alright, this really carefully. See how I've got that bended in half? Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read on the dimmer, and my dimmer says in. I don't know if this is going to be upside down in the video, so we might turn this around. We've got voltage negative and voltage positive. Okay, so we want to follow the instruction. So on this outside, according to the diagram, it's negative towards the outside and positive towards the center for our in. So in means coming from our power supply. Alright, so I'm going to follow the same procedure. But see how I get that scraggly wire? I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to bend this over. Okay, like I did the other one. Now I'm going to put the negative in on where it asks me to. So I'm going to undo this little connector here. Okay, I'm going to put this wire in. I'm going to sit it down on the... I'm going to put this wire in so that under that little plate that we just undid, and I'm going to screw it all the way up. Okay. Come on, hands, don't fail me now. Okay. So as you can see, we've got the negative wire, which is black, in the negative socket where it wants it. Okay. Now we're going to do the same with the positive, which is the yellow. Okay. I hope you can see what I'm doing because I can't see the camera while I'm sitting here. Okay, so this one's going to go in here, just as we did the black. And see how that's just slipped down? I just want to make sure that all the wire, the bare exposed wire, is caught under that little plate, so you see no exposed wire. Okay, so that's this dimmer done, okay? So we've got this dimmer ready. Now we're going to add LEDs to the dimmer. Now, I'm not going to show you how to join LEDs today. I'm just going to show you how to connect the LEDs to the dimmer. I'll do another video soon on how I join the wires, but I can't do that until how I join the strips, but I can't do that until I get my new shelves in. See, I'm reorganizing and putting in more shelves because my collection is getting that big, it's getting out of control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip these wires, okay? And I'm going to twitch them like I did with the other wire. Okay, I'm going to bend them in half, like that, and this one in half. Alright, and we've got the same as we did here. Now, following the diagram on the dimmer, it wants us to put positive towards the center, so the two positives are next to each other, and the negatives on the outside. So the red with the black stripe is negative, the solid red is positive. Now your mileage may vary. Some of the LED strips have got blue and red, yellow and red. It just depends on the manufacturer. I get mine from overseas. They're tested to Australian standards, so they're only about $12, $13 per set of strip. And I use basically one set of strip per shelf, so about 5 meters per shelf, and that's a 4-foot shelf. But I do dim them and use a light meter to calibrate. I will show you how to do that later in another video. I just got to pace myself because I'm not well. Okay, now, because we're not putting any joins in this LED today, that is totally ready to rock and roll. Okay, so that's all there is, because we're not putting any joins in the LEDs today. We're just wiring them up. Okay? So all this here just can be bundled up, because all we need is those ones there. So as you can see how I've got the dimmer wired. I've got it wired as per the specifications on the dimmer. I'm not exceeding the capacity of the dimmer, and I'm not exceeding the capacity of the power supply. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a test run now. So we've got these LEDs. I'm going to move these ones out of the way. These are just a different color spectrum of LED. I brought both of them here so I can show you, but we don't need to right now. So what we've got, our LEDs. I'm just going to spool a little bit. Now the sticky paper's left on the back because I leave the sticky paper because I'm going to cable tie them to the shelves. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our mains power now. Now, remember, disclaimer, careful, don't muck around. And we're going to plug in our mains power, so our power supply. The switch is off on the power supply. Okay, and our dimmer's switched to off. So now if I switch this power supply on, and it's running, there's no error. Because if there's an error, the fan won't come on. So if the power supply shorts out, if you made a mistake in your wiring, your power supply will... It won't blow it up, it'll just cut out. So what you've got to do is unplug that, switch it off, check your wiring, and then plug it back in, and it will come back on. It's got a safeguard. That doesn't mean you ignore safety protocols, okay? So now we've got this dimmer, and I've got it connected to the LED. I'm just gonna use the dimmer, and we're gonna have a look at the LED. So that's on fairly dim, as you can see, and then we can go all the way up. Well, that's bright. These 5630s could give you a suntan. As you can see, the diodes are all working correctly. As you can see, they've got a little bit of burn in. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Let me stand up and see. No, you can't see it. So the LEDs are still settling in. They're not completely lit, but that will happen after they've run for a little bit. It does happen. But there's instruction on how I wire LEDs. Once again, I'm going to put it in a disclaimer. Don't mess with electricity. Eat where you can, sleep where you can, and don't mess with electricity. So, as you can see, we did not mess with mains voltage. We did not cut a mains voltage line. We only worked with 12-volt lines that were unplugged. So 12-volt in this situation may give you a zap or a burn, but hopefully won't kill you. So just be careful. Alright, now later on I'll be back with more videos explaining how to join them. As you can see, we can dim this LED now. So the function of the LED dimmer is that we can dim it down to match the output we need for the violets. So we can use a light meter to dial it in, so to speak. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later, bye!